Hi, I'm Detective Incognito. Welcome to another investigation. I explore strange events, forgotten discoveries, and questions that still challenge what we know about our world. What you're about to hear might change the way you see everything. In 2015, Google engineers gave a neural network an unusual instruction. Dream. Not metaphorically, but literally. They reversed how the system processed images, making it enhance what it thought it recognized, rather than simply classifying what it saw. What emerged shocked the scientific community. Clouds transformed into flocks of birds. Blank walls sprouted eyes and faces. Architecture melted into biological forms that had never existed. Subscribe now to discover what happens when machines start seeing things that don't exist, and why this accidental discovery revealed something profound about perception itself. Like this video if you've ever wondered whether seeing and imagining might be fundamentally the same process. In June 2015, 3 Google engineers were working on a problem that had frustrated artificial intelligence researchers for years. Neural networks could classify images with remarkable accuracy. But nobody truly understood how they accomplished this. Alexander Mordvintsev, Christopher Olah, and Mike Tyka decided to reverse the process. Instead of feeding an image into the network and asking what it contained, they would give the network an image and instruct it to enhance whatever patterns it thought it recognized. The original purpose was diagnostic. By seeing what the network emphasized, researchers could understand what features it had learned to detect. But when they activated this reversed process, something unexpected happened. The network didn't just highlight existing features, it hallucinated entirely new content. A photograph of clouds would gradually fill with birds. A blank wall would sprout architectural details. Then eyes, then entire faces. The network was amplifying its own interpretations. Through a feedback loop, show it anything, and it would find patterns, then enhance those patterns, then enhance the enhancements. The engineers called it inceptionism, referencing the film Inception and its dreams within dreams. On July 1, 2015, they released the code on GitHub. Within days, the internet exploded with deep dream images. Puppy slugs, camel birds, and architectural hallucinations filled social media. Artists immediately recognized the aesthetic potential. But scientists saw something more profound. The network was revealing how it understood the world. Understanding how deep dream functions requires examining how neural networks process images. Modern image recognition networks are trained on massive datasets, containing millions of labeled photographs. Through exposure to countless examples, the network learns hierarchical features. Early layers detect simple elements, like edges and basic textures. Middle layers recognize more complex patterns, such as curves and color combinations. Deep layers identify complete objects, faces, animals, and architectural elements. Deep Dream reverses this classification process fundamentally. Instead of asking what exists in an image, it asks how to maximize recognition of patterns the network knows. The algorithm examines an image and identifies weak activations in specific layers. Then it modifies the image to strengthen those activations. This happens iteratively. Each pass makes the patterns more prominent. The choice of layer determines the dream's character. Operating on lower layers produces geometric patterns and edge enhancements. Higher layers generate eyes, faces, and animals. Because those features exist prominently in the training data, the network can even start from pure random noise, and through successive iterations generate entirely synthetic imagery. This revealed something crucial. The network wasn't discovering hidden patterns in images. It was imposing its learned patterns onto whatever it observed. This is algorithmic pareidolia, the computational equivalent of seeing faces in clouds or animals in rock formations. In 2017, researchers at the University of Sussex took Deep Dream beyond static images. They applied the algorithm to panoramic video and created immersive virtual reality experiences. They called the hallucination machine Participants reported experiences strikingly similar to descriptions of psychedelic states. This observation prompted rigorous investigation. In 2021, researchers published findings in the journal Entropy. Examining brain activity of subjects viewing deep dream imagery. Compared to normal video, electroencephalography measurements revealed something remarkable. Deep dream triggered significantly higher entropy in brain activity patterns. It increased functional connectivity between disparate brain regions. Both metrics are established biomarkers of actual psychedelic states induced by substances like psilocybin or DMT. Scientists began proposing a fascinating hypothesis. Perhaps psychedelic compounds in deep dream operate through similar mechanisms. At different levels of analysis, human visual perception combines external sensory input with internal pattern recognition. Psychedelic substances appear to enhance the brain's internal pattern generation by altering serotonergic signaling in visual cortex layers. The result is seeing patterns and forms that aren't present in external stimuli. Deep dream accomplishes something analogous. Computationally, it amplifies the network's internal pattern models until they override actual image content. The parallel suggests that normal perception exists on a spectrum between pure external input and pure internal generation. What we call seeing involves continuous interplay between what exists externally and what our neural networks expect to find. The implications extended beyond fascinating imagery. 2022, researchers at the University of Trento conducted experiments, exposing participants to deep dream imagery in virtual reality environments. Cognitive assessments revealed increased mental flexibility and enhanced creativity following exposure. The applications proved practical beyond artistic expression. Engineers used deep dream as a debugging tool for neural networks. When researchers noticed their image classifier consistently identified dumbbells with attached human arms, deep dream revealed why. The training dataset predominantly showed dumbbells being held. The network had learned to recognize the dumbbell plus arm combination, rather than the object itself. This insight drove improvements in training methodology. Art historians applied deep dream to analyze paintings, revealing what patterns human artists unconsciously emphasized. The musician, Foster the People, incorporated deep dream aesthetics into their music video production in 2015, demonstrating immediate cultural impact. Yet researchers emphasize crucial distinctions. Neural networks don't dream in any conscious sense. They don't experience or imagine. Deep dream reveals what networks have learned, displaying their internal representations externally. But this revelation proves valuable, precisely because it demonstrates that perception itself is active construction, rather than passive reception. You can only recognize what your training prepared you to see. Networks trained predominantly on dogs will see dogs everywhere. This limitation mirrors human perceptual constraints more than researchers initially anticipated. What deep dream ultimately revealed transcends its immediate technical applications. It demonstrated that perception, whether biological or artificial, isn't passive observation, but active construction from learned patterns. When a neural network dreams, it makes visible the internal models it uses to interpret reality. Scientists continued debating the consciousness implications. Does the fact that artificial and biological systems show parallel behaviors suggest fundamental similarities in how both types of intelligence operate? Researchers emphasize understanding these parallels and limitations remains crucial. As artificial intelligence capabilities expand, a network trained to recognize specific patterns will impose those patterns onto ambiguous inputs. Human perception operates identically. We see what our neural architecture was trained through evolution and experience to recognize. The descendants of deep dream include modern diffusion models and text-to-image systems like DALL-E and Midjourney. All apply insights from this original discovery about how neural networks can generate rather than merely classify imagery. The machine didn't learn to dream in any mystical sense. It revealed something more profound, that seeing itself is a kind of dreaming. Reality as we experience it is what our neural networks actively construct. From fundamentally incomplete sensory information, perception isn't about accurately capturing external truth. It's about generating useful interpretations. From patterns learned through prior exposure, Deep Dream made visible what neuroscience had long suggested. The boundary between perception and imagination is far more porous than everyday experience suggests. Understanding this changes how we think about intelligence, consciousness, and the nature of reality itself. When machines dream, they show us something essential about how we dream while awake. If you liked what you just saw, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell. Leave your opinion in the comments below to let me know what you thought. Thanks for sticking around, and see you in the next video.